Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, extra tough monks take on extra tough hand cannoneers as the Viper, playing as the Bengalis in yellow, prepares to take on Lewis, playing as the Hindustanis in gray. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, a pretty good time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today as the Viper discovers a Rhino. Now, the Bengalis are an elephant civilization through and through. All of their elephant units take less bonus damage, are more resistant to conversion, and can be upgraded to attack 20% faster. In addition, their melee cavalry all come with a small +2 attack bonus against skirmishers, which makes defending in the early to mid feudal age not that scary against a skirmisher force. Now, in order to support these slow units on the battlefield, I'm referring, of course, to their elephants, not their other cavalry. Bengali monks come with a huge +3/+3 armor boost, and their unique unit is the Ratha, one of the most versatile but most hated units in the game, being a chariot that can actually switch between ranged attacks and melee attacks with trample damage. Now, in order to support the Bengali army, every Bengali town center spawns 2 villagers for free whenever the next age is reached. I am going to try my darndest to keep an eye on the Viper going up to feudal age. I say that every time we cast I was going to say Burgundians, but we're not casting the Burgundians, are we? I say that every time we cast the Bengalis, and I miss it every single time I say it. And by the way, their entire villager and monk population can be evolved, let's call it, so that they take up 10% less population space. The way that works is, if you research Mahayana in the Imperial Age, each one of these villagers, each monk, does take 0.9 population space instead of the 1 population space that they normally do. Let's see if the Viper takes a poke to the ass here. Looks like he will. He does, as the villager will, I'm assuming, get that Rhino easy peasy. Maybe not lemon squeezy, but definitely some kind of easy peasy here as she survives with 4 HP. Let's take a look at our Hindustani, a civilization that pushes its players towards an army composition of a mixture of gunpowder and camel units. All of their gunpowder units come with extra +1/+1 armor, and their hand cannoneers can be upgraded to get extra range with the Shatagni upgrade. Now, Hindustani camels also come with a few cool features. To start with, they do have an attack bonus against buildings, which, if you know me, I have been known to be a little bit of a camel hater, although that's a little bit of a stretch. I'm more of a camel, let's say, questioner. But when they come with a +2 attack bonus against buildings, it does address one of my main issues with camels, which is that they absolutely suck at taking down buildings. Second, Hindustani camel units do attack 20% faster. And third, if we're already making lists, the Hindustanis do have access to a unique unit, the Imperial Camel Rider, a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast upgraded version of the already awesome Heavy Camel Rider. Now, in order to defend their hand cannoneers from pesky ranged units that might want to snipe them on the battlefield, the Hindustanis can turn to their second unique unit, the Ghulam. This is a unit we saw yesterday, and man, oh man, did we see it bigly. If you didn't watch the game, that's pretty much as I'm going to spoil from it. Definitely check out yesterday's game. The Ghulam is an anti-archer infantry unit that moves quickly, has high pierce armor, and comes with an attack bonus against archer units. And by the way, does pass through damage in the radius of 1 frickin' tile, can injure multiple units at once. Now, in order economically to support the production of their expensive army, because the Hindustani army can be quite labor and resource intensive, Hindustani villagers themselves become progressively cheaper as the game goes on. They are currently 8% off, all the way up to 23% off in Imperial. Not too sure why the developers decided to mess with everyone's mathematics. It used to be 5, 10, 15, 20. Now it's 8, 13, 18, and 23. Some of you smarter viewers out there will probably know what 23% of 50 food is. For me, always a little bit of a stretch. And lastly, the Hindustani economy can be made much more efficient, because the Hindustanis can actually increase the speed of all gold income by 10%. And by the way, that includes relics, and they can also reduce their commodity trading fee in the markets from 30 to 10%, which gives them the second best commodity trading fee in the game, after, of course, the venerable Saracens, who have had that feature with the 5% market commodity trading fee ever, basically since the dawn of time. If you judge by Age of Empires, it looks like our Hindustani has now discovered where the Viper's base is. The Viper, pushing the last of his pushables, is now just heading out. Not a bad time for us, as I'm going to try again, like I said, my darndest to keep an eye on the top left here to see that Roman numeral 2 count down and down and down. The Viper primary gold and stone, nice and to the back position. Primary gold exposed to the front, and what an exposed front it is. No real forests in any kind of defensive position here, except maybe one on the flank. Extra gold, extra stone to the bottom and to the top, but on the whole, a fairly open base. I'm going to delay the Hindustani. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delay it for another 21 in-game seconds. Usually I would go to the Hindustani. I would get enamored in maybe a butterfly or something very OCD or OCP. And let's see. Here we go. No, those are not the 2 villagers. These are the 2 villagers that come out, and they are immediately sent to build the markets. They came out with hammers in their hands. Okay, Market Blacksmith tells me we are going fast castle, as is the fact that the Viper has 760 food in the bank. So before he gets up there, ooh, he might get the first kill of the game. Maybe he's perhaps staying a little bit too long within the castle. Oh my goodness, the town center radius, which has not fired any arrows on him at all. Let's take a look. Primary gold also nice and secure to the rear-ish position. Primary stone exposed annoyingly on a hill. This base, as much as the Viper's forward position is open, this north and south position is pretty much open. Lewis does have a decent-sized medium forest here in the forward position, which is kind of far from the TC, so we'll see if he decides to use it as part of his wall-off. Kind of looks like he's not going to. Extra gold to the bottom, extra gold and stone to the top. I like that Lewis does have extra forests to the rear of his position, whereas the Viper's going to have to go pretty far to the rear to get to his extra forests. And already... Now, I will say, on a map like this, with this color sand, this kind of light colored, I don't know what the super duper light beige color, these 2 players have chosen the hardest colors to look at them in the minimap. Is somebody going to get a kill here? We're 12 minutes in. The Viper's already going up to Castle Age. Oh no, our Hindustani is about to get caught out. He is investing in upgrades. He's building training spearmen. And it looks like the Viper does manage to get the first kill here. And I don't know. I clicked on the goat. I apologize. I feel like the game just froze there for a second. The Viper gets 2 kills. Lewis gets one of his own as well. As the Battle of the Palisade Gate continues. If this was a Game of Thrones, it would have some kind of fancy name like the Battle of the Bloody Wood Sticks or something. But Lewis, like I said, he is training spearmen, spending his gold on archers. He's got a scout from the original Dark Age. Not too sure where those 2 villagers came out. I believe once the Viper hit castle, they went straight for that goat meat, the goat kebab. And the Viper's at 558 stone. I mean, red phosphoru much? Forget the Sicilians, forget the Portuguese. Our Bengali is using his 4 extra villagers. I mean, he's down 2 villagers on the whole. I meant 4 extra villagers that spawned for free when he hit Feudal and Castle Age to absolutely rush his butt up to the 3rd and penultimate age. And a very defensive castle dropped right in the face of 3 archers who are starting to get a couple of villager kills here. So the Viper is rushing, but I don't know that Lewis is going to let him get away with this without taking maybe 1 or 2 more villagers. Why is he attacking the mining camp? I guess the castle's that close to completion that you can't really engage into it anymore without risking the lives of those archers. But the kill count stands at 3 apiece. Lewis, though, pushing the Viper's deficit of villagers even further now, 30 to 25. But now he has to get the hell out of here. He's got the 200 gold. He does not have barely even half the food that he needs. And he's kind of, but not really, walling this base off. We've seen sergeant rushes. We've seen organ gun rushes. We are about to see a Rada rush. I wonder if, first of all, I completely forgot to mention, congratulations and all the best to the Viper, who just became a father, and to his wife as well. Congratulations indeed, as one new dad to another. Enjoy your sleepless nights and enjoy not playing Age of Empires for another 8 months or so. And the only loser there is us, the audience, who are going to miss out on the Viper playing Age of Empires. Although, never say never. You do have sometimes a brief moment or 2 to play the game, which will make the Viper's gameplay all the more fun because it is so scarce. He is definitely going ranged mode on his Rathas. So that's number 1. Number 2. I don't even know what the hell my second point was, but we are seeing very much a fast castle Bengali play here. Oh, I was going to make a joke about how I wonder if he's rushing up to Castle Age and rushing to attack Lewis because he just got a text from his wife that, oh, hey, oh, by the way, I'm in labor. But I think this game was played a lot many days ago, and so I don't think that it was, in fact, just a joke. Maybe a poorly made one, maybe a unrealistic one. But you know what's unrealistic? Trying to defend against Rathas with a Feudal Age force. This is a unit that automatically comes with triple-digit HP, and that's before the Viper even goes Bloodlines. And it is now starting its bombardment. Now, it's not that much stronger than a Feudal Age Archer. Let's compare the two. One attacks on a 5 or base of a 5. One attacks on a base of a 4. But the Ratha does come with extra Pierce Armor. The Archer comes with no Pierce Armor. Both of them have a base range of 4. Now the Viper is going to just start getting more and more kills, and he's going to start going after the villagers. Now, what does our Hindustani have? Where is his stable? Tell me he's got... Oh, he went double range. This is going to be... I mean, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, if you go early castle against Rathas with range, right? You go skirmishers, they'll just switch to melee mode, and they'll gun you down. You go crossbows, they'll gun you down with their 2 pierce armor, and then once they soften you up with range attack, then they'll switch to melee anyway. And remember, in melee mode, they automatically do trample damage. They don't need Logistica. They don't need any other upgrade. They automatically do trample damage. And now the Viper is here to the north as well, it looks like, trying to lame the gold collection. And Lewis is doubling down on crossbows. He has the wood, I think, for a... Oh, no, not anymore. He had for a brief shiny moment the wood for a stable. Now, you know what would counter these Rathas in early Castle Age for the Hindustani? Some of those awesome camel units that I mentioned. Remember, they do attack 20% faster, unlike the Bengalis, who actually need to research pikes for this unit to make it attack 20% faster, because it also benefits from that upgrade that makes their elephant units attack 20% faster. Tower is up, but so far 5 villager kills. So those Hindustani camels do attack faster. And they do come with, I mean, aside from a slew of bonuses, they do come with the very relevant bonus of +9 against cavalry. The problem for Lewis is he doesn't have any wood. He's got 0 villagers on wood, but he does have enough wood now for a stable. The Viper is leading him on a chase to the north. Lewis realizes what's going on, decides to run home. The Viper is attacking to the west. The Viper's in the south, and all of a sudden, 22 minutes into the game, the Viper's sitting on 18 Rathas to the basic skirmisher, basic spearman, and 11 crossbows of his opponent. And again, as good as counter units are against the Ratha, I don't know that crossbows are going to be able to get the job done here. Although I say that, of course, he immediately manages to gun one down. I assume it was kind of weak because the Viper now has 3 armor on these units, and the crossbows attack on a 7, which means they do 4 damage to a unit with 105 HP. So speaking of math, what is that, like 25, 26 attacks needed? No, 21 or 22. Speaking of math, I should look at my multiplication tables again from grade 5. And now Lewis, I feel like he's a little bit stunned, perhaps. His crossbows are dancing around all over the center of his base, staying within the radius of the TC, trying to snipe individual Rathas, but now the Viper's going up to 24. He is getting a lot of gold. There's not even enough surface room here. Why is he getting all this gold? Because he literally can't get anything else. He can't get the wood. He can't get the wood. He can't get the stone, the wood, or the gold. This is literally the only resource he can get right now, with maybe the exception of these 5 farms, which the Viper will just move in and snipe. Because again, with 105 HP, a town centered is not that big of a deterrent. And again, right as I say that, the town center helps get a kill there. Now, villagers are... never mind, I thought they looked like they were attacking the Rathas for a second, but oh no, 16 dead villagers for our Hindustani. And cheap as they are right now, they're not that cheap that you can afford to lose 16 against your opponent. Numbers, though, numbers are going to our Hindustani, who does clean up. Okay. Never mind. Why did the Ratas do so shitty there? Underneath a town center full of arrows. How many crossbowmen? 13 at the moment. 12 kills on them, but look at their HP. 2 of them are basically dead. 4 or 5 of them are halfway to being dead. Oh, and he's going to catch out another one. He does have ballistics, which is, by the way, a fantastic upgrade that Lewis focused on. And with the, I mean, at some point it's going to have to kick in, right? With pushing the Viper away, he can now focus on some of the more basic resources, as he has 1 lumberjack on wood, but he has a 17 villager deficit. And I don't know how much longer our Hindustani can withstand this. I mean, the ferocity of the attack out of the Viper here, again, like I said, red phosphoru much? This is the snake phosphoru, the yellow phosphoru. Although I don't know if there, I don't know red phosphoru, why his name is red phosphoru. I don't know if there's like a blue phosphoru, a gray phosphoru, a green or blue or purple or every other color of this game. So we'll just call Viper the snake phosphoru for now, until I can figure out whether or not there are multicolored phosphorus out there. By the way, what is a phosphoru? I'm not too sure. Okay. Okay. So Lewis says, you know what? I'm so far behind. My only chance of getting back into this game is to maybe put on some aggression on the other side of the map so the Viper feels pressured, and then he's gonna have to go to defend at home, because you know what, if he rushed and ran to Castle Age this quickly, he did so at the expense of his economy, which normally would be true, except that the Viper in the meantime has killed 20 villagers of his opponent. And now the Ratas are on the high ground, and the crossbows are just moving. They're not even attacking half the time. We'll keep an eye on this. Let's see what's going on here, as the Viper says, you know what? You don't have murder holes. I know you don't have murder holes, so let me just shove my Ratas in here. And there you go. The Viper doesn't even have a 3rd most trained unit. He doesn't even have a 2nd most trained unit. He didn't even train that scout. He just got it for free, like we all do when we start random map games. What were you doing up here, Mr. Rata, with 0 kills? What a fast but fun game. I mean, we've seen, like I said, a Sicilian push. We've seen all manner of town center drops. We've seen organ guns lately out of Phosphoru, out of Survivalist, channeling his inner Phosphoru. But now we're seeing a Bengali Rata push. Okay. And like I said, the Hindustani, if this was double stable instead of double archery range, I think the Hindustani could have taken it. With bloodlines, with husbandry, our Hindustani with the 20% faster attacking camels could have definitely taken those Rathas a little bit better than those crossbows did. Especially since the crossbows rely on wood. And right now, I mean, right now it's 0 villagers on everything because he GG'd, but I don't think there was a single villager on this wood line at all. And so maybe he could have focused a little bit more on food. And interestingly enough, did our Hindustani explore other parts of the map? No, he didn't. So whereas right now, for example, a player like Mr. Yo or Hera, or really a lot of players, would have expanded out to the nether regions of the map, saying, hey, I know you're in here, but I need to roll the dice. I need to take a risk. I need to put my resource gathering operations away from your reach. Lewis did not. And so no villagers on wood. Viper just catches him completely unawares with that ridiculously fast castle. I like that Lewis caught it and then punished the Viper a little bit with those 2 villager kills. But then after that, he literally could not do anything. Kudos to him for getting up to Castle Age pretty damn quickly. But like I said, unfortunately, double range. And again, if you go skirmishers, which you definitely can, because skirmishers have a double attack bonus against Ratas. Ratas have not only archer, but also cavalry archer armor. Then they just go melee mode. And if you go pure skirmisher, they have minimum range. So the second the Ratha closes, you lose 1 or 2 charging into the skirmishers, and then once they close, it is good night, skirmisher army. Nice to know ya. Let's take a look at the stats. 39 Ratas to 31 crossbows. Oh, this is just an unfortunate situation for Lewis, but what an absolute baller play out of the Viper. Peak APM literally a minute ago. Peak APM for Lewis literally 10 seconds ago. So both players at the end had their peak APM microing 2 fronts at once. Both of them with one front at home and one front abroad. And let's take a look at the stats. I can't imagine the economies are that close or that far apart in a 29-minute game. Yeah, it looks like the Viper 23% bigger economy. Lewis does have more food, fair enough. More wood, bit more gold, and stone, of course, for the Viper. So he just had a tiny bit more gold, did our Bengali, and about 1,700 more wood. And military, no conversions, of course. We didn't see a single monk. 2 raisings. I'm not even sure what those raisings were. Maybe houses, I think. Or maybe a mining camp or a lumber camp of some kind. Maybe a mill. No, the mill's still here. In any event, 2 raisings to 0 is not that crazy, but the Viper would double the kill count and 11 times the villager kill count. Let me know in the comments, is this like a new thing for the Bengalis? Because the organ gun is pretty damn hard to deal with in early Castle Age, but I would imagine a unit that can switch between ranged and melee is also pretty damn hard to deal with. Early Castle Age, not Imperial Age, if I said that. I'd imagine that a versatile unit like the Wratha could also potentially be very hard to deal with in early Castle, unless, again, you have some kind of magic unit that comes with a +9 attack bonus, whether you're the Gurjaras, whether you're the Berbers with the cheaper camels, whether you're the Hindustani with the 20% faster attacking camels. But ultimately, doesn't really matter. The Viper secures a nice juicy wood line, 18 villagers there, 13 villagers on stone. That does allow him to pump out Wrathas a non-stop to the tune of almost 40. And with the fast castle, while Lewis was literally getting fletching for his archers, the Viper was in Castle Age and just caught him completely unawares. It is the Viper, Yellow Phosphoru, Snake Phosphoru, whatever the heck you want to call him, who takes the W with just an absolute fun maneuver here, overwhelming Lewis and gutting his economy literally in more than half, who takes the W. But GG in a super quick but super fun matchup to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.